Yo, dude. Welcome. Welcome once again to the Grizzly Martian Show. How's it going? I'm doing good. And I know, some of you are saying, Dog, what are you wearing? You guessed right. New Ray-Ban Meta AI smart glasses. The Wayfarers, dude. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Right? I mean, you might have seen some of my other episodes or videos. And yeah, your homeboy got some new tech. And I think that is pretty cool. So now you guys know. Shakira. She just starts crying sometimes when I get home. Immediately. And I'm like, you still have food? You have water? What are you crying about? But, so, dude, now, if you saw my other videos, right? The FBI released some declassified files and stuff as part of the Department of War, Pentagon, declassifying a bunch of UAP, UFO files, you know? And, dude, so I made a video on that, right? And some of you probably saw that one. And real weird. All of this stuff that lines right up with the whole theory that I came to with everything, right? But, you know, guys, I don't have any insider knowledge about what the FBI or what weird three-letter agencies are doing with a bunch of weird shit. I'm just speculating. I'm just using my intellect and pattern recognition and trying to figure out what would I do if I was CIA or whoever the fuck, right? I try to put myself in the position of some of these agencies just so I can try to figure out what would they think like. If I was one of them, how would they go about something like this? And so that's what I did, you know? I have no idea what they're up to. But a lot of the stuff that I was talking about and went over makes a lot of sense, right? But, and what's funny too, right? If you saw that other follow-up video that I made of Jesse Mickles and his podcast, and he was talking to those two alien abductees, well, sure sounds like they were manipulated to a crazy degree and coerced into doing hypnotic regression. And then it sounds like they got implanted with a bunch of false memories.
And he goes, well, why don't you just start at the beginning and tell me about this UFO that you saw? So I told him about it. And at first I thought he was bored. It was like, oh, yeah, I've heard this a million times, And then I said, my Charlie and myself and my identical twin. And then he went, what did you just say? And I said, Charlie and I and this other guy and my identical twin. He said, oh, you have an identical twin? And I said, yes. And then he said, okay, I want you to start all over again. And then I could tell he was giving me his attention. So
Why was that somehow
I don't know.
Control, and you got a base population and a control population if you're going to do any type of medical experimentation. So
That's
you have
interesting.
two identical twins.
Yeah, that's interesting. I also think from an investigatory perspective, if he's speaking to you first, he can get your whole testimony. Then
And
he
then
can
compare
isolate
it.
your brother
Yeah.
and then get the same testimony and kind of, compare and contrast. And so it's probably from his vantage point, the potential for high confidence is really there,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
And that's exactly what he did with the regression sessions. We filed a report. That was the first thing we did. And then he said, would you like to do hypnotic regression? Have you ever been hypnotized? I said, no, I'm not even sure I can be hypnotized. I mean, isn't that kind of a
Controlled show or something?
Some kind of weird thing, that people believe in, but it's not really true.
Not science.
It's not science. It's not accepted in a court of law. So, I mean, how could it be legitimate? And he's like, no, it's just kind of this like super relaxed state. It's no big deal. So I said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. So we all, 4 of us, agreed to undergo multiple regression sessions. And then we agreed that we would not talk about them between us. We would not report anything we remembered from these sessions.
So no collusion.
No collusion.
Nope.
Totally isolated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what comes out of the regression session?
Pretty similar stories.
Yeah. Something that I didn't think had happened at all. I thought was, Christ almighty, there's nothing to this story. We're out fishing. This weird light came up on top of us. We paddled away. We shined a flashlight at it. It flew away. That's the whole story. The whole end. Nothing to it. So after being hypnotized, then I was totally quiet with myself even. I didn't even talk to myself. For like the next 4 hours, I'm just trying to access, absorb, and accept what I had just re-encountered that I didn't know that I had encountered to begin with.
But once again, guys, I don't know. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of some of these people and intel agencies or whatever, and I am trying to put together a cohesive idea and plan for how they would do this kind of thing. And then, of course, I put my own personal experiences into the mix and what I know about the weird metaphysical universe and reality and how all of this actually works in the universe that we're all inhabiting. That's all it is, guys. It's just me trying to use my brain in high operational mode. And I actually try to do that quite a bit. Well, I don't even try. It's just the way I is, dude. So, we'll see. We'll see if they release anything else, right? But I was, well, I guess since we're on the topic, one more thing. I feel like, I don't know, I've been seeing some videos of Kash Patel on, I don't know if he was on the news or it might have been a more formal setting. I forget, but well, actually, they were talking about, what's her name? Nancy Guthrie? The mom of the lady on the Today Show? How she went missing a while ago and stuff?
First 48 hours of anyone's disappearance are the most critical.
FBI Director Kash Patel criticizing the Pima County Sheriff's Department for its handling of the unsolved disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
What we, the FBI, do is say, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? What can we do? And for 4 days, we were kept out of the investigation.
But on February 3rd, just 2 days after Nancy was reported missing, an FBI special agent appeared at a press conference in Tucson. And Patel himself told Fox News the FBI was already working with local authorities.
And you're assisting them in their efforts.
Absolutely. We're on the ground there with them.
Patel's latest comments, made on Sean Hannity's podcast, come more than 3 months since Nancy's abduction. In a statement, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos says the FBI was promptly notified by both our department and the Guthrie family, reiterating what he told us back in February.
How do you respond to this report that says that you are not working with the FBI and holding back evidence?
The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department are connected at the hip. That has not changed.
The FBI director told Hannity it was the Bureau that recovered that doorbell camera footage of the masked gunman outside Nancy's home.
When we were finally let in, Sean, look what we did. We went in and got the Ring doorbell, and we said, hey, is anyone talking to Google?
You guys got that tape, which was the biggest breakthrough during that case.
We could have gotten it days before.
And a lot of times, honestly, guys, I feel like maybe in the past, for people like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, maybe I have been a little harsh and talked a little bit out of class, specifically about them.
Patel also slammed Pima County for sending DNA evidence to a private lab in Florida instead of an FBI facility.
We would have analyzed it within days and maybe gotten better information or more information. Our lab's just better than any other private lab out there.
But Sheriff Nanos pushing back, saying that decision was made based on operational needs and that the lab it used and the FBI laboratory in Quantico have worked in close partnership from the outset.
The sheriff said, we contacted the FBI and so did she, and we were cooperating and they weren't being helpful. But Kash Patel is saying the opposite. So, who am I going to trust? Some local sheriff that I don't even fucking know? Or good old Cashy boy? Right? So, I don't know. I feel like perhaps they're dealing with stuff that I'm sure we can't even imagine. And they're in very important and high-stress situations with their occupations, and they have a lot on their plate. So maybe I'll try to be a little more even keel when I talk about them moving forward. I should be a little more fair. But other than that, was sleeping so fucking long yesterday. And just weird dreams. Not like whatever, like super weird, but just weird shit going on. But the weird kind of dreams where, and I was like waking up from it and then falling back asleep soon after and going right back into the dream. The same shit. So, I don't know what that's all about. But I was so tired today at work, even though I slept my ass off yesterday and this morning. Don't know, dude. It's like I was hit with a tranquilizer or something, dude. I don't know. But, and I gotta go, I should have gone tonight, because I need some more coffee. This was the last of my mocha, double mocha. So, time to re-up. I love me some mocha. But, guys, just chilling, living the dream. Cool. Well, another week, huh? We're already almost halfway through May. Ain't that something? Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by. It's your boy, Grizzly Martian. Out. Peace.